Good Saturday evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Huila here at WFAA. Let's get you the latest on Hurricane Ida. Right now, we have hurricane warnings in effect for a huge chunk of southern Louisiana, from Lafayette over to Baton Rouge, in New Orleans as well. So this is where the hurricane conditions are expected. And right now, and it's becoming more well-defined, Hurricane Ida is sitting at a Category 2 strength. There it is. The eye's starting to really come together nicely right here. We've been watching satellite loops over the last several hours. The eye has been a little bit, we'll say, unclean or not well defined. It's starting to kind of scour that out a little bit, which means it'll intensify rapidly over the next 12 hours. So still a Category 2 as of the 10 o'clock update. We expect this to be a Category 4 by early Sunday morning, and winds will be in excess of 125, close to 130 miles an hour. So right now, though, 105 mile an hour winds, still moving to the northwest, around 16 miles an hour, and it's 235 miles southeast of Houma, Louisiana. So let's take a look at the latest track. There's the Category 2. There's the 4 by early tomorrow morning with winds of 130 miles an hour. Landfall on Sunday expected in the afternoon. So we've paused the clock. You see it says 2 p.m. here. It'll be sometime around 1, 2, maybe 3 o'clock before it officially makes landfall when the center moves inland. Notice the slight push to the east. It's moved ever so slightly to the east. So the centering, of this system may very well impact New Orleans a little bit more than initially expected. There's that curve to the northeast. So New Orleans sitting in a very bad spot for this hurricane. Winds of up to 100 miles per hour at 7 o'clock Sunday as it weakens to a Category 2. Still a strong hurricane at that point. And then as it lifts off to the north, it starts to weaken. Still a tropical storm in parts of Mississippi, then a depression, then very heavy rain off into the Midwest. So there's your track again. Landfall is the 4 sometime Sunday afternoon. Here's a look at what we're expecting. There comes the rain, very heavy rain into Sunday afternoon and evening. Flooding rain, damaging storm surge, damaging wind gust. This is just a bad situation for southern Louisiana, Mississippi as well, as Ida continues its march to the north. So 10 to 15 inches of rain still in the forecast from Baton Rouge down through New Orleans. There will be isolated spots that see up to 20 inches of rain. 5 to 10 inches widespread. Look at this, the entire state of Mississippi. 5 to 10 inches of rain, so intense rainfall expected from Ida, not only in Louisiana, but Mississippi as well. Even some heavy rain in parts of Alabama. The problem, and we've discussed this, anytime you get a tropical storm or hurricane, you expect the extremely heavy rain and the potential for flooding. The issue here is the soils are very saturated down in the deep south. There's been a lot of rain. So with the saturated soils, you add on an additional 10 to 15 inches of rain in a up to 48-hour period. You're talking a very serious flash flooding concern along the coast and even inland into Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of Louisiana. So that's what we're concerned about with all that rain. And then the storm surge, always a big deal. This is the latest forecast. This may shift a little bit farther to the east, but right now, the big storm surge south of New Orleans, 10 to 15 plus feet possible of storm surge in that area. Lake Pontchartrain, 7 to 11 feet. So, the New Orleans area are going to have some serious issues with storm surge, 4 to 7 feet on the outskirts of that, and 2 to 4 feet as you work over toward Mobile, Alabama. And then even on the west side, even closer to Lake Charles, 2 to 6 feet on the far southwestern corner of Louisiana. There are your wind gust forecast, 130 plus miles an hour. That'll be for Lafayette over to Baton Rouge, Houma, New Orleans as well, 130 plus mile an hour wind gust. On the outskirts of that, 94 to 130, and then gosh, still inland, you're talking 75 to 93 mile per hour winds from Hattiesburg all the way over to Jackson, so very strong. Remember, tonight, right now, as of this exact broadcast, we have winds of 105 miles per hour. Ida is a Category 2. Winds are gusting up to 125. Pressure is continuing to drop, which means it's a healthy storm, and you can see on the last couple of loops the last couple of scans there of satellite, you see the ice starting to become a little bit more clean as it approaches southeast Louisiana. It's now 145 miles southeast of the mouth of the Mississippi River. So make sure you stay alert, you stay tuned here to WFAA. We will have the very latest on Hurricane Ida overnight, tomorrow, all throughout the day, landfall and beyond. We'll have the latest here for you.
But we begin tonight here at home with the urgent evacuations in Louisiana. Hurricane Ida expected to come ashore tomorrow, 16 years to the day after Hurricane Katrina. Millions in the danger zone, crowds packing the New Orleans airport, and massive traffic jams on the roads, people heeding warnings to get to higher ground. These live images you see here from the Lake Pontchartrain area. Residents boarding up, they're preparing. Forecasters saying the region could get up to 20 inches of rain in some areas. Ida now gaining strength in the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, expected to make landfall as a Category 4 tomorrow, bringing a dangerous storm surge, flooding rain, and powerful winds. Rob Marciano timing it all out for us in just a moment. But first, ABC's Victor Oquendo leads us off from Metairie, Louisiana.
Tonight, Ida rapidly intensifying and closing in on the Louisiana coast. More than 6 million Americans now under a hurricane warning. Ida already lashing parts of Cuba with high winds and heavy rain. New Orleans mayor warning residents,
prepare yourselves. If you're going to leave, you need to do that now.
Many heeding that advice. Large crowds at the airport, traffic jams across the storm zone as families evacuate. Our Trevor Alt is on Interstate 10 near the Texas-Louisiana border.
We're just crossing the state line into Louisiana, and look at all the traffic headed out of the state. We are 240 miles west of New Orleans. All of these people trying to evacuate into Texas.
Back in New Orleans, we met Izzy Ezzo boarding up his business, telling me he's worried about flooding.
We're just hoping that Monday morning comes, we're not calling insurance.
Hospitals here sheltering in place. Ochsner Health stocking up with at least 10 days of supplies, including fuel for generators.
With having so many COVID patients, with having our hospitals full, it's going to be a real rough weekend, and hopefully it's not as bad as we're anticipating. But once again, we got to be prepared for the worst.
Ida set to make landfall 16 years to the day after Hurricane Katrina.
Covered in mud, 2 feet of sludge from Lake Pontchartrain and mold everywhere.
Cheryl Gross lost her house to Katrina. She's now planning on riding out Ida in the home she rebuilt.
There'll be damage, but I don't think it will be, I hope, not as devastating.
So many hoping for a different outcome this time around. Victor Oquendo joined us now from the 17th Street Canal on the edge of New Orleans there that breached during Hurricane Katrina. Victor, what are officials saying about the threat from Ida now?
New Orleans upgraded its flood protection system after Katrina, including the 17th Street Canal. Governor John Bel Edwards saying this is not the same state it was 16 years ago, but it is going to be tested. Whit?
It sure will. Victor, thank you. Let's get right to ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano. And Rob, when do we expect the Gulf Coast will start to feel the impact?
Well, this is moving quickly at 16 miles an hour. Tropical storm force winds in New Orleans likely before sunup, and it's rapidly intensifying right now. You see it on the satellite picture. That eye is developing. That's so frightening for all of us, and it's moving towards the northwest. The forecast track has not changed very much at all, and there's high confidence in this to land as a Category 4 storm tomorrow afternoon and still a hurricane early Monday morning as it cruises through Baton Rouge. We're going to see a tremendous amount of storm surge with this. Outside the levee systems, you heard it. It's going to be an inundation, 10 to 15 feet, but the winds with this will be destructive. Look at some of these estimates, over 120 in Grand Isle. Homa, I'm really afraid for you. New Orleans, you're going to be in the eye wall as well. This will be like a big tornado coming through this area, and Baton Rouge will get slammed too. Big time heat in the content in this ocean and this Gulf of Mexico. Climate change playing a part in this strength of this storm. Whit?
Well, I'll be following it very closely. Rob, our thanks to you tonight.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.